Larry,
Go for it.
we're here again,
Yeah.
doing it again. And you got some stuff on your heart that you
Oh
want to
yeah.
share.
I actually during the time last 4 years of Trump running for office, I've been very deep in praying about that because I believe from the beginning. I think God showed me when Trump ran the first time that he was God's David. He was the man that God was choosing to get to. Now, to the Trump haters out there, I like to say, you gonna probably feel like I'm sold out to Trump. No, I really wasn't at first. I started out with Ted Cruz, but Trump showed some things to me, and one thing he showed to me, he don't lie. He's not gonna lie to the American people. What he's doing, he's being trustworthy, and he's giving us what we want. A lot of us, we just, I don't know. I guess we really got to be serious and just say it's Republican, Democrat is the problem. Republicans and Democrats, you're gonna choose one, and you're gonna jump. And when you get on the other side, a lot of time you get more severe towards the opposition. Well, what God showed me was just amazing. The things that were coming up. See, God, I felt God want to save America. And what a lot of people didn't see and haven't seen, and I'm going to say this, because of the Democratic Party, we have steadily been declining. I can remember 4, 5, maybe up to 10 years ago, the thought of a child being in a sex slave or transferred across country for that purpose would have offended us so strongly. It'd have probably been riots in the street, but that's not, right now that's going on in America and we paid no attention. Why? Because we have thrown God to the side and begin to follow our own way and our own desires, and those particular spirits, those guys that's doing that, they're not driven just so, I say so much by human spirits. They're driven by evil spirits. When I say evil spirits, I mean demonic forces. During the time that Biden was in office, over 300,000 kids came into our country illegal and disappeared. That should offend everybody. Where are these kids at? They in America somewhere. But they're being used in sex slaves. So we have seen a lot come out about this in the last 4 years. It's amazing how it has come out. And that's what I felt was the reason. I always looked at the reason we lost the election in 2020 was because they stole it. I don't want to say they stole it. I'm going to say now they was allowed to steal it. I believe God allowed that to happen, to take place, because some stuff has got to come out. God wants this country back. And if you're an American citizen, you got to know this country didn't just pop up. All you got to do is look through history. You see the hand of God all over this. And so I began to get on the news, and well, not regular news, cable news don't show me a whole lot, but I began to get on the news and social news and everything, begin to check things, listen to the prophets, and listen to the men of God. But mainly I stayed on my face and I prayed a lot about this. And God began to show me the movement of something taking place spiritually in this world. First of all, Donald Trump came out and said the election was stolen. I mean, that's that's one of the reasons I like him. If he think it, he's gonna say it. And the reality of it, to me, when you look at the evidence, you can't miss it. So what happened was when Donald Trump was running for office, I was having a hard time because a lot of black guys that I knew, especially on my job, a lot of them would challenge me in that, and tell me, say, well, wait. Donald Trump is a racist. That was the word they have him. That was the thing they have him. And I would say, you know, it's not that he's a racist. He's strong speaking. He speaks what he's saying. I think we as a people, I'm talking about right now, I'm separating, I'm saying the black people, I think we go too far with that word racism. And I think we use it too many times. And right now people are sort of turning away from it. I thank God for that, because we use it the wrong way. But as I begin to stay before God, I begin to see things. First of all, they went and found something by him having secret papers at his home. So without him even knowing it, the FBI went to his house one day and had a search. And of course, a whole bunch of stuff went on there, because it was really kind of unusual for them to say that this stuff was so important to them. But you go to the other presidents, and the same thing has been happening for as long as we can remember. They can do that because they're president. Now, on the other hand, what God was showing me was this: how everything that they was coming after him with, he was going to bring it back to them. So not long after that, President Joe Biden found out that he had stuff that had went back into the days he was a senator, which senators not supposed to have that stuff. Vice presidents not supposed to have that stuff. Only presidents. And so that made, to me, it put Trump in the right place. In the wrong place, it was an attack. It was an ungodly attack. It was an illegal attack. It was a thing for them to get win. And what God was showing me was just that it came on Trump, it went to Biden. Well, also, because Trump stepped up and said that the election was stolen, he actually called the Secretary of State, who was a Republican in Georgia, and said, hey, man, see, there's 11,000 votes somewhere. He said, those votes should be my votes. And he was right, because since then, there's been votes found out in boxes in the fields and everything. So much stuff went on. And so this guy defended himself, and I never trust this guy. I heard he might be running for president, running for governor, and if he is, I'm sorry, I won't vote for him. But anyway, then this major thing come up. We had a young lady, young black Democratic lady, come up and said, this is an opportunity for me to get something going. So she came up and she decided to press charges on Trump. She began to charge him with RICO and anything else she could to come against him. The hand of God is still moving now. And the sad thing about it, liberals don't never see this stuff, to hit them. And so she got so caught up in this thing. I mean, she just being herself. Not long after that, it all came back home. She's having an affair with one of her people that work on that with, that she worked on the case with. And it caught up with her. Another movement of the hand of God. And right now, that's totally gone. I can remember one of the turning things that in my thing was when Donald Trump came to Atlanta to get his picture taken and be booked. I never forget this. He went like the convoy went right straight through the projects, it seemed. And the black people came out and said, free Trump. And that set the Democrats on edge. They didn't know how to deal with that. That was one move. Then all of a sudden, New York City come up with a misdemeanor. Now, guys, in my young days, I was kind of crazy. I went to prison a lot, and I always dealt with the law, but I never heard of such thing. You got a misdemeanor that you're going to turn into 34 felons. Does that make any sense? Not at all, but they did it. And by this time, Trump is facing over 500, 600 years in prison. I mean, all this time coming down on him, and he hasn't done anything. Okay, we don't stop there. We go, Letitia James. I guess I don't like to call names, but anyway, another district attorney in New York decides that she's gonna take his property. I'm listening to on YouTube a preacher that's in Alabama. I listen to him a lot because he looked funny. He looked like a hippie. His name, well, I ain't gonna call his name, but anyway, he looked like a hippie, but he is a well-spoken guy. It's amazing, if I can say this, his wife and him have the same first name, but they are powerful guys. I've checked them on prophecy, and they pretty strong. And he prophesied that God told him that every time they take $1 from Trump, that God's gonna add 3 to replace it. So they find Trump close to $500 million. Never heard of a fine like that. Close to $500 million. And here Trump is, like you gotta understand, rich people don't have necessarily all that money in money. It's usually in property and stuff like that. And so she figured that'd be the best way to go after him, was go after his property. So they brought him up and they told him his business and his property in Mar-a-Lago was worth $18 million, and he overvalued it to the bank. Now this is so cool. The bank, he borrowed money on this land. They said he overvalued it. Now the bank didn't complain. They loaned him the money. paid the money back and everything, and they're happy and ready to do it again. But here, Letitia James saying, I'm going to do it because it's wrong what he did. And eventually went to court. Believe it or not, he lost that case. It ain't lost yet. It's still got to go to appeals, and everybody suspects it's going to fall through because there was so much stuff that was done in that particular trial that was not legitimate. In the process, they fined him nearly $500 million. In the process, he sold something had to do with his radio station or something, and it ended up bringing in $2 billion. It's like nothing they could do to stop this man. And I came from prison ministry one day in Alabama, and I remember I came on early, and I was sitting down watching Trump speaking to the crowds, and I'm sitting him watching this, and I couldn't believe when it happened. I was drinking a Coke, and I just threw it up in my face when I saw Trump grab his ear and go to the floor. Ground. I said, oh my God, I hope they ain't kill him. Somebody ain't kill him or whatever, because I sort of was expecting that. I had heard people say it, and I sort of expect something like that was going to happen. So what happened? Trump hit the ground floor, and he get up. And I looked at what happened now. That don't happen. You do not, listen, if a man that good, that accurate, can shoot you from a building, and the only thing that saved your life was your head moving at the right time, going the right way. So, another move of God's hand. They tried to kill him. And it didn't stop there. So one day he go to play golf. He's going to play golf, and before he could go, they find out that there's a guy out there in the bushes with a gun. The thing just happened to be sticking out, and the officer sees it. Not the officer, I guess the Secret Service man. He sees this. Again, people, I'm going to say this. I'm going to stop right there and say this. All this stuff that's happening to this man, all this stuff that's going on that went on then, it didn't just happen. And the reason they couldn't get nowhere with it because God was in charge. They even went so far to get certain states to take him off the ballot. So he couldn't even be voted for in that state. The Supreme Court had to step in and say, you can't do that. They was doing everything they can. But in the meantime, God had a plan. And that plan was to get Donald Trump in this country. And Donald Trump, to know, he had to know this. His walk with God has to get stronger. He also had to know that God did this. And he said it one night on stage. He literally stood it. He said, someone told me once, this is what made me so proud of this guy. He said, somebody told me once that I'm the most powerful, the most famous man in the world. He said, but I'm not. And he said, they asked me, then if you're not, then who is? He said, Jesus Christ. We never heard that from a president before. Ronald Reagan got close to it. You see, the problem about this country, our leaders have not been acknowledging Jesus Christ. The most amazing thing right now, we got a Republican speaker right now that's a strong Christian. And I'm excited about that because I see something else I saw on the TV not too long ago was praise and worship going on in the Capitol. It's time that something happened. God is moving in America. America, you need to know that God is giving you another chance. Because you got to understand, if Trump would have lost this race, we would be in deep, deep trouble. Just look at what has happened since he's been in office. The bombing of the nuclear facilities in Iran. This is stuff God wanted to do. This is stuff that's been prophesied. God was going to move against these people. But God has put us a man in office. He's not, heaven knows. If I knew Trump personally, I probably wouldn't get along with him. But guess what? He's what God wants for this country. Why? Because God can trust him to do what needs to be done and not to do what they want done. So America, get ready. God is coming back to America. And he's coming back strong. The blessings is coming back. Everything is coming back. But you need to get on your knees and understand that we have sunk so far. Just how far we was going to go. You think if Trump hadn't got in office, all this stuff like young kids being used in sex slave, all this stuff, did it, all this stuff. You think this stuff wouldn't have brought us down? Let me tell you, you don't do that much evil, then don't bring it down. We're not going to be that country. God is coming back to America. I looking at you my phone or YouTube the other week, and there's a young guy. It started in Hollywood. He had what you call street worship, just worship on the street. Thousands of people, hundreds of people coming up there, and they worship. And I'm seeing people come to the front, fall on their knees in their face for the first time, crying out to Jesus, because that's what's needed, people. We have got to repent. And I'm seeing this is happening in the people on the streets. When I saw it, well, it ain't perfect what's going on, because he did it in New York City as well. He goes around to San Diego, these cities, and when it happened, they take over the whole city, just praise and worship. Not these idiots walking against Israel, not these people out there wanting to commit violence. But in fact, he was in Seattle, one of the most liberal cities in America. He was attacked. The Christian was attacked by who? Black Lives Matter and Antifas. They are still around. And see, my plan right now, I know God is setting it up. I want so much to go and do street ministry again, and I feel God is holding me back. Because it's not like I used to. You used to just go to a hotel or motel or something. I had to have agreement with the people and set up and do this. But I can't feed the hungry no more because of laws they made since then. The goal is for me, my life is for me to get back in the fight. I'm 77 years old, but I'm not ready to stop. I don't feel like I should stop. I'm still walking. Everything is happening good. I'm not taking a whole bunch of medicine, and I just want to go. And I remember Ken Kessler, my pastor, praying for me for a knee injury a few months back, and he told me, he spoke the word, and he said he don't remember speaking it, but I remember it. He said, God is not through with you yet. And I'm not through with God. God has done some tremendous things in my life, and as we continue to do these programs, I can get a little bit into my testimony. But mainly, I had to do this because I had to come out and say the whole thing is people that don't understand what Trump is, who Trump is. Well, he's God's man. And when Trump came out and said, God saved my life, he said this to the media. I mean, they don't know how to handle it. He said, God saved my life to straighten out this country, so I can't let him down. And it's been a tremendous rise since he's been in office. And I want to tell America, God is back. Do not close him out. Get into your word. To my Christian brothers and sisters, get into your words. That's what God told me not too long ago. I never forget it. He spoke to me plain. He said, Larry, get into your word. Because you see, the problem right now, God is dealing with the church. He's dealing with, especially the big churches. He's dealing with them right now. If you don't believe it, just look at news and what's happening. But God told me, and it was so plain, I couldn't miss it. He said, get into the word, and it was consistently done for weeks. I kept saying, God, why are you into me about, I'm getting into I'm being into the word. He said, because the gospel is changing, but not the word. The true gospel is the word. So pastors, preachers that God had put in that position to bless, they are changing. A lot of them is changing. They bring in the true gospel. God had churches out there, tremendous churches. When I hear the preacher get up and try to preach, sometimes it makes me cry. Because why? They're not preaching. They're controlling the crowd, but they're not preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ. Some of the people, pastors that I have been really strong in the past, they've gone away from the gospel. And it's obvious. So my message is for you right now as an independent Christian. Get into the word. Study the word and continue to see God work and watch it. If you get into the word and stay in the word, you're going to see the hand of God moving on this country. People worried about Russia at war. People worried about, they was worried about Iran. I think God just showed Iran up. But understand this here, America, we didn't just happen. This whole country came from God. It was God's intention for us to be here, and it's God's intention for us to watch the back of Israel. So pray for the peace of Jerusalem, whatever you do, because they want to take Jerusalem. It's amazing how people hate Jerusalem, how they hate Jews. Isn't that amazing? Because it's not a natural thing, it's a spiritual thing. Thank you very much. I appreciate y'all having this time to listen to me, but continue to listen to me, because I'm going to start doing this more and more. I just feel God want me to do this rather than run to the streets. Thank you very much.